Jamar Chase not expected to play, but the Bengals still look to run past the Titans and improve to 7-4. Mike Petraglia inside Nissan Stadium here in Nashville, where the 6-4 Bengals look to extend their winning streak to 3 games against Derrick Henry, Ryan Tannehill, Jeffrey Simmons, and the Tennessee Titans, who come into this game at 7-3 on the season. The Bengals, believe it or not, came in as a 1.5-point favorite as soon as they beat the Pittsburgh Steelers last Sunday, 37-30 in Pittsburgh. Second straight road game for the Bengals. Then they get a stretch of 4 home games in 6 contests to close out the 2022 season. Yes, it's a very difficult stretch coming down to the end of the season for the Bengals, but 4 of those 6 games being at home could be a big factor for the Bengals. But today they're on the road. It is expected to be a very windy but still mild day here in downtown Nashville. 55 degrees at the 1 p.m. Eastern Time kickoff. The wind is the biggest factor for the second straight week. Of course, it was last week, and Evan McPherson handled it without a problem, as did Drew Chrisman, punting in his first game this year for the Bengals off the practice squad. Drew Chrisman has been elevated once again today for the contest, along with Kwame Lassiter. Kwame Lassiter elevated is the indication that most likely and most probably, as there were reports on Saturday, Jamar Chase will not play today. He will be inactive. They'll wait, the Bengals, another week for Jamar Chase to heal that hip, even though he did practice this week and it was limited all week long. There was some thought that he might be able to play against the Titans today, but that won't be the situation. The Bengals will wait until next week against Kansas City in all probability for him to return from that reported hip fracture. Well, we talked about the wind. Evan McPherson last week did a great job handling the elements in the game. He missed a couple in pregame warmups, but that's what pregame warmups are for. He made the adjustments. The wind could be, again, a big factor here today. How do the Bengals handle Jeffrey Simmons at the line of scrimmage? Bengals may catch a bit of a break because Simmons is dealing with an ankle injury, and that may slow him somewhat at the line of scrimmage. Obviously, the interior Bengals offensive line has been one of their strengths offensively, even though their offensive line struggled at the start of the season. The trio of rookie Cordell Volson and, of course, Alex Kappa, and in the middle center, Ted Karras, have done a very good job in pass protection all season long, really. And today it will be tested by one of the very best in the game, and Jeffrey Simmons. He was the one who got to Burrow a lot here in the AFC divisional playoff game back in January. The Bengals would like to avoid a repeat of that 9-sack performance by the Tennessee defense, and they'll have to, frankly, to come out on top in this game. The Titans, though, will not have Danico Autry. He is out of the game, injured, will not play, so that does help the Bengals' cause somewhat. Back to the injury on the Bengals side of the ball. Dax Hill will be back today for the Bengals after missing the last couple of games, actually missing the Steelers game and getting the bye week off with a bruised right shoulder. He is back today for the Bengals. Haven't been playing him a lot, obviously, throughout the course of this season, but Dax Hill provides that depth in the secondary, of course, at the free safety position, and they like to use him all over the field. Of course, he and Chris Evans are smiling brightly today because of the result of the game in Columbus yesterday, with Michigan coming out on top 45-23. No doubt they will be giving grief to the trio of Eli Apple and Sam Hubbard, as well as Von Bell. Certainly bragging rights there for Dax Hill and Chris Evans. Chris Evans, speaking of which, he will be active today. He is expected to carry some of the running back load, along with, of course, Samaje Perine, who will get the bulk of the carries with Joe Mixon out with a concussion. And, of course, let's not forget Travion Williams. He will also be active. He did a good job last week when he was called upon. Trenton Irwin. Let's talk about him for a second. Trenton Irwin made a couple of key catches, his first NFL touchdown last week, but he also made a terrific 35-yard catch and go on the sideline pattern right in front of the Steelers bench in the fourth quarter on that 93-yard drive. That was a key catch in the moment of that game. The drive led to the touchdown that put the Bengals up 34-23. We'll have you covered all day long on this windy day from Nashville. Follow me on Twitter at Trags, Trags. Online, clnsmedia.com. And of course, subscribe to the link below. I want to hear all your comments, good, bad, and indifferent, on my Jungle Roar podcast YouTube page. Inside Nissan Stadium, Mike Petraglia, CLNS Media.